Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be going over 5 simple building/editing tricks to win more fights if you're a console Fortnite player. I'm always a really big fan of simple techniques for a few different reasons. First off, they're actually going to be usable by the majority of players. I get that advanced techniques are really fun to watch and envision yourself using, but a lot of the time they just aren't practical unless you're insane at the game. Also, simple techniques just require a lot less practice, and some of these will really require no practice at all. Nobody likes to sit in creative mode and grind the same techniques over and over again trying to get the mechanics down, so with pretty much all of these, you won't really have to do that at all. And finally, these techniques are usable in very common situations. Again, a lot of the advanced techniques are definitely great and all, but they require you to be in some super specific and niche situation that may only occur once every few games. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first fairly simple trick that I want to start with is the Conan Box Combo. This is a piece control based technique that you'll see really good players use all the time, and when they do it at super speed and follow it up with a 200 pump, it probably looks crazy advanced and impossible to do, but in reality it's actually fairly simple, and I'm confident that the majority of players can do it with only minimal practice. So the most common situation you'll use the Conan Box Combo is when an enemy's either ramping up directly in front of you, or one tile to either your left or right side. As you're going to see in this clip, here is basically how it works. As soon as you identify the enemy ramping up, you want to immediately place a cone on top of the most recent ramp they placed, then connect walls on as many sides as possible to that cone. Best case scenario, you surround them on all 4 sides, but it isn't necessary. As you saw there, even though I missed the right side, since that's now the only way the enemy could have gone, I knew to just wait on him, and it led to a relatively easy follow-up and barrel stuff kill. Also, as you saw in that clip, it's important that once you finish the Conan Box Combo, you immediately want to destroy the ramp in front of you that the enemy placed to ramp up, because if you don't, they can use that to make some sort of edit play on you. I really don't think I need to explain too much why this works. You block the enemy from going up with your cone, and then when they try to change directions to the side, you also block that with your walls. So now you're in a point-blank range fight where you have the element of surprise because the enemy certainly wasn't expecting that, and even more importantly, you own most of the building pieces in the immediate area, so now they can't edit out of the box, but you can. So definitely nothing crazy, just fairly basic piece placement that really anybody could do, but despite the simplicity, it's so effective, and it's why you see it very commonly at even the highest level of competitive play. The next technique is another one that I'd say is based around piece control, and it's most commonly called the cone slide. Now there's actually 2 variations of this, a very simple one and then a second one that does require a decent amount of mechanical skill. The simple cone slide works like this. Once you've taken or just destroyed an enemy's front wall in a box fight, they're gonna place a ramp in front of them and likely hold turbo build, super common play. All you want to do is spray down that ramp with your AR or SMG, and then quickly place a cone on the ground in front of you inside the box. It may not work on the first try, but a lot of pros believe that cones take priority over ramps when both are placed at the same time, so even if you have relatively high ping, this should work within the first 2 to 3 tries. Then once you get that cone down, your enemy who is turbo building expected to be protected is now going to be totally exposed, and that should result in you getting an easy kill. The other way to utilize the cone slide is when the enemy still has control of their front wall and therefore hasn't placed a ramp down yet inside their box. You would first need to break and replace the wall, then quickly edit an opening in it and place the cone at their feet. That obviously, like I said, takes a bit more mechanical skill and quick placement, but if you can get this technique down, you pretty much have the fight won at that point. The enemy can't build to protect themselves, and you can just edit the front wall that you now own and pick them apart with shotgun shots. Technique number 3 is an editing based one that I call the roof edit down, or at least that's what I've heard other people call it. This is something that you want to use when you're inside a 1x1 and the enemy's trying to pressure you from your roof. What most players are going to expect in this situation is for you to just turbo build your roof, or even the cone on top of your roof if you still have one and they haven't destroyed it yet. They're going to be on the offensive and you're trapped inside a box, so in their mind they have absolutely nothing to worry about. So a really nice trick that I like to use sometimes, and I've seen other pros use as well, is something that's actually really simple. All you need to do is edit the tile that they're currently standing on to drop them into your box. If you do that successfully, they'll probably have their pickaxe out, and they'll be totally oblivious as to what just happened. So as long as you don't totally choke your aim, it should be a really easy point blank range fight for you to win. Our next technique is another box fighting one, and it's probably the simplest one in the entire video. This is something that you want to do when an enemy hits you with 1 or 2 AR shots, forces you to box up, and then starts pushing you. Much like with the last one, in that situation, the enemy player is under the assumption that they're totally good to go on the full offensive. They think that you're going to box up, heal up, and while you're trying to do that, you're going to turbo build the front wall. So to counter that mindset, what I like to do a lot of times, as soon as I see the enemy pull out their pickaxe at the front wall to try to break and replace it, I immediately make an edit and go for a shotgun shot. Obviously, there is a little bit of risk there, and your timing has to be at least somewhat good, but when a lot of players start playing aggressive like that, they play really stupid. They don't worry about keeping right-hand peek, they don't worry about overexposing themselves, they don't worry about strafing and staying mobile. So because of that, if you surprise them and make that edit when they're just expecting you to heal up, you can really turn the tides of the fight. If you hit that shotgun shot when you make the edit, now they're likely going to be forced to retreat and box up, and that means you basically control the engagement at that point. The final technique I want to super quickly show is a very simple protected sideways ramp rush that I use fairly frequently. Now this is definitely nothing new, but a few months back I saw some pro using it in competitive, so I basically decided to copy it and implement it into my own game. It's really as simple as placing a ramp, connecting a floor to it, and then another one to either the left or right side. Then you place 2 walls in front of you, and finally the ramp. And you can just repeat that building combo over and over again, however many times you need to. It's a good way to ramp forward somewhat unpredictably while also being super protected the entire time. And also, since you're connecting so many pieces together, it's a lot harder to shoot you out than it is with most ramp rushes. So again, not anything that's going to single-handedly win you fights by any means, but a nice little simple tool that you can hopefully add to your toolkit to help you in various situations. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to let me know with a comment down the comment section below. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.